Well, WENY is bringing you a new segment each Saturday focusing on health issues many of us or our children may have to deal with. Each week, Renata Steele will talk with a doctor from Arnett Health and get answers regarding medical questions. This week's conversation focuses on childhood vaccinations.
Hello and welcome to Your Community Health. I'm Renata Steele at WENY News, and I am here with Dr. Jeffrey Gardner, who is a pediatrician here with Arnett Health. We are going to be talking about different health issues week to week here on Good Morning Twin Tiers weekend. And this week we are talking about immunizations. And Dr. Gardner, we know that when we have children that it's recommended that they get vaccinations through the course of their early years. And over history, certain diseases have been eradicated or almost eradicated to the credit of immunization. So talk about why getting your child vaccinated is so important.
Well, Renata, thank you for coming, and thank you for allowing me to address this very, very important subject. Immunizations are one of the great healthcare successes of the last 100 years. And prior to that, millions and millions of children died from diseases that we hardly hear anything about anymore. Smallpox, measles, polio, tetanus, diphtheria, and a variety of other illnesses that we take for granted as a society not to see anymore. So immunization still remains extraordinarily important.
And now, at what age in the early child's life should they be getting their vaccinations?
The first vaccination that's recommended is actually very shortly after birth, and that is the hepatitis B vaccine. And that's usually given in the newborn nursery.
And now, there are booster doses. So for a lot of them, you don't just get one and you're good for the rest of your life. There are boosters that are recommended. What are some of the ones that need boosters, and what age do children need those?
Typically, most of the immunizations in early childhood, in the first year of life, are given at 2, 4, and 6 months of age. And at those visits, a variety of immunizations are given. We're trying to protect them from the maximum amount of infection in the minimum amount of time. We don't want to overly traumatize the child. However, we also want to get as much immunization and as much protection as quick as we can.
And now another question is, there is some of the boosters are mandated by state law that you have them, especially if you have a school-age child, it's required for them. What are some of the ones that are required by state and have to do with being allowed to attend school?
Well, to attend school, you have to have a certain amount of various vaccines. For instance, it is required to be up to date on your DTaP, diphtheria, tetanus, whooping cough vaccines, and chickenpox, polio, and measles, mumps, rubella, the MMR vaccine, usually given in early childhood, 12 to 15 months of age, and then once again given at kindergarten entry. Immunization-wise, other than yearly influenza vaccinations, which should be given, they are good to go on immunizations usually until 6th grade entry, where the Tdap, tetanus, diphtheria, whooping cough, is required by law. And the new one this year that has begun at 7th grade entry is the meningococcal vaccine. And there are 2 doses of that are needed by 12th grade.
I see. All right, well, that answered a lot of our questions about immunizations. Dr. Gardner, thank you so much for all of that information. And thank you for joining us for Your Community Health. You can also find this segment on our website, along with more information, WENY.com. Thanks for joining us.